And joining us now on the Fan Hotline is our buddy from 93.7 The Fan and the Post-Gazette. That is Jason Mackey. Fan Hotline presented by Sullivan Super Service, Pittsburgh trusted plumbing and HVAC provider for over 50 years. Mackey, how you doing? You were holding down the fort with my guy Dorin while I was out.
Yeah, we had a day together. It was glorious. We ripped on you a little bit.
That's fair.
I thought it was a very good show, and I enjoyed working with Dorin. I expected no less. It was a great time.
Yeah, were you guys asking if the chicken tenders in that photo of the crawfish is what I was actually eating, or was that with Bostic?
I think that was with Boston.
We
were talking about crawfish, though.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was with us. And then in the background, yeah, there was chicken tenders. Where that's what his actual food is. He was trying to just make a video of him eating the crawfish.
So you're half right.
Did you not eat the crawfish?
No, I ate crawfish. It just wasn't my favorite, and I have dainty little hands that I didn't want to get disgusting. So I got a catfish po' boy at that restaurant.
Oh, God.
So a catfish po' boy, ate a little bit of that, and then my daughter had the chicken tenders. But that's a fair question because I'm not super cultured. All right, Mackey, where do you want us to start with you today? You want to go Matt Stafford? Let's go Matt Stafford. You have no choice. Should the Steelers be interested in bringing him in at $40, $50 million and giving up a draft pick? And are they interested in trying to bring in Matt Stafford?
I think they would be interested in bringing in Matt Stafford, but not at the price you mentioned, Adam. That doesn't make any sense. I can't go there for a 37-year-old to pay $40 or $50 million. I understand what they're doing. I understand why you would express interest. Matt Stafford makes them better. You have to, investigate and see if that's something you can do. Based on what we're hearing out of LA and what would make sense for Stafford, I don't see how that aligns. I don't see, if I'm the Steelers, how it makes sense to give up a first or second round pick for that. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, what if Justin Fields goes in a different direction? Do you see that being option A? Do you see Stafford being option A and them giving all that up if they don't get their guy?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Fields goes in a different direction, Dorin. I think you and I talked about this, that, if I'm Justin Fields, I'm looking at this and saying, why am I not going to listen to the rest of the NFL? Maybe pay me a lot of money or maybe let somebody do something stupid. But no, I mean, to me, if I'm looking at the Steelers and what tracks with everything they've done thus far, Russell Wilson is option B. I'm not excited about it, but I mean, they are, for whatever reason, valuing continuity way too much. And to me, Russell Wilson is that, not paying Matthew Stafford $40 or $50 million and giving up a first or second round pick. Like, that would run totally counter to everything that they've shown us.
I'm a little bit of a hypocrite here because I want the Steelers to spend as little money as possible on the quarterback position and build up the roster. But out of the other side of my mouth, I want no part of Russell Wilson. Like, if you're going to bring back a guy for continuity purposes, it's got to be Justin Fields because the body of work was so small that you can, at least in your mind's eye, envision it looking different for the Steelers next year. With Russell Wilson, the last thing that we all had in our mouth was they went 0-5, and he looked like doggy doo-doo in the last 5 games. Jason, though, you say you're not sure Justin Fields would want to come back here. I saw you wrote about that. Do you think it's more likely than not that he would go to, let's say, like the Jets?
I think it depends on what's out there for him. And I don't know. I wrote that more from Justin Fields' perspective, that if I'm him, again, I want to hear how I'm going to be used in an offense. I want to hear how much another team values me. I don't think that's atypical from any place of employment, right? Like, you want to be a priority. And right now, what we're hearing out of the Steelers facility is that the group is split on him and Russell Wilson. We saw what they did down the stretch. They didn't really give Fields another chance. I have some questions about the viability of that offense, whether you can showcase a running quarterback. So, I mean, I'm Justin Fields. I'm looking at what other situations are available to me, what other running games are there, what other wide receivers am I going to work with, and if I can find an upgrade, I'm going to try to do it. Now, at the end of the day, it might be the best situation that he has to come back here. There are certainly pluses to doing it. I think my point with Fields, and what I don't understand, is, like, why would he cut that off right now to sign on February 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th? I would just go to March 12th. Let's see what happens. And then if I risk losing the job, if the Steelers need to commit to somebody, that's okay. I'm willing to take that risk.
Jason, Omar Khan is expected to speak today at the NFL Scouting Combine. If you were there, what would be the one question you would ask him?
What are you looking at here? And I would try to find some fancy way. Like, I want to know where do you feel like the combine is going to best address team needs, and where do you feel like free agency is going to best address team needs? And there's a way to get that's productive. What are the best needs that you feel like you can address here? Or is there something that you feel like is not on the table that can be on the table for free agency? Anyway, what I want to know, Dorin, is how they're sort of aligning these different buckets with different ways of getting players and improving. Because I think you look at the combine, take cornerback, for instance. Like, they need a corner. I don't think the combine's the best place to get it. I think that's probably free agency. Maybe defensive line, I think the combine might be the best place to look at those guys and figure out how you're going to align in the draft versus free agency.
Jason, I want to switch gears here to the Buccos, and we're not above stealing topics. We all do that here on the station. And I heard Starkey talking to your colleague Andrew Destin about this yesterday. Everyone's really excited about this Pirates rotation, and I'm excited about this Pirates rotation. But I don't think it's a sure thing. The way that Jared Jones finished coming off the injury, the way that Mitch Keller's finished each of the last 2 years, the way that Bailey Falter's predictive metrics eventually caught up to him, are we all sort of just penciling in, or I guess penning in, this Pirates rotation as this big-time strength of the club when it might not be?
I mean, I think we're all guilty in spring training of going down too far down the road with things. I'm more excited about this Pirates rotation, Adam, because of the depth right now. And I think this is the best they've had in actual pitching depth. And I mean, not just the guys you mentioned. I like the Andrew Heaney signing. I don't know if you mentioned Oviedo, but Mike Burrows, Chandler's going to be in there, obviously, Ashcraft, Harrington. Like, they've got actual arms. So, I mean, might it not be Bailey Falter? I think that's completely fair. He struggled at the end of the season. I think that's one of the reasons they went and got Heaney, because it kind of covers them for that. You're going to have guys get hurt. You're going to have guys drop off. So, yeah, I mean, if we concentrate on 5, I understand where somebody can look at predictive metrics and say, hey, maybe we're out over our skis a little bit, expecting too much from these guys. But I just look at sheer volume, and this is far deeper a staff than they've ever had.
Jason, what's a poop game?
A poop game is when the Pirates play the Phillies, and it's 0-0. So it's P, 0-0, P.
Well, I read somewhere it's going away. Why is it going away? Well, they don't play the Phillies anymore?
No, they're changing the graphic on the Philly network.
Oh,
which is ridiculous. It was fun. I don't know how you can change the graphic to not have a P. Like, the Pirates are going to have a P. It's going to be 0-0 at some point. I guess you reorder them.
Huh. Every time I wear my Pirates hat, my father-in-law looks at me and goes, "Hey, you've got P on your hat," and I laugh every single time because I'm 12 years old, trapped in like a 14-year-old's body.
Yeah.
You got some pie cost in your face, too.
What I like, Jason, is that you could have stopped the sentence whenever Dorin asked, "What's a poop game?" when you said, "When the Pirates play the Phillies." Like, you could have just stopped right there. Because more often than not, that turns into a poop game, too. Jason, we love it. We really appreciate your time as always, man. Thank you for spending some of it with us today.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jason.
Jason Mackey, a nice man and a hard worker. Poop game. You caught me off guard there.
No, I mean, I was just asking. I didn't really read into it. I was like, what is everybody talking about? Is this some baseball lingo that I don't even want to even get myself and boggle my mind with? Like, that's why I didn't even click on the article, anything about that, because I was like, oh, here comes war minus plus something dumb analytics. I'm like, oh, what does poop have to do with baseball? Oh my gosh, it's probably some type of freaking analytics type BS that I don't even want to get myself even involved in.
Well, I was teaching you guys about FIP last year.
Yeah, right.
And I told you Bailey Falter would fall off because his FIP was way higher than his ERA. FIP. And so you're thinking there's FIP, you're thinking there's what are some of the other ones, WRC plus and all that stuff. You're thinking, oh my God, how many poops is Paul Skeen's going to take this year?
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to know what's going on in this article, or what, if these lingos, I'm not going to be able to figure it out because I don't know it. So I'm not even going to read about it.
Well, because
I thought it was a real thing.
There's the Maddox, which is a complete game in under 100 pitches thrown. I think
because of Greg Maddux?
Because Greg Maddux would do that. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
You understand that one.
Right.
So you thought this was some sort of newfangled, like XFIP.
Yes.
What would poop stand for in baseball then?
Pitching off of a planks. I don't know. Pitching off of.
Yeah, it's like when you have the pitcher
Percentage. Pitching off a percentage.
That's not bad. Callis, do you have anything to add?
I did, and then I didn't.
He's on fire today.
Fire.
Pitching over opponents' pitchers. That's what it could stand for.
I do look at stats in baseball now. Like when you're growing up, it was home runs, it was
Batting average.
batting average, and RBIs. And with pitchers, wins and losses, strikeouts, walks, all
ERA.
important. Now I pull up Fangraphs, and here we got VFA and in parentheses PI.
See what I'm saying? This is exactly what I'm talking about.
XERA, FIP, XFIP, WAR,
No.
poop.